With only weeks until the 2012 presidential election, a familiar name in politics is on a last-minute campaign push.
You're talking about the importance of voting.
But Dr. Alveda King, niece of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., is not supporting a specific candidate or party.
The party's over. This is not party time. This is serious time because, America needs to be fixed. And there's a desire in my heart to see that. And so I say to people, when you look at a ballot, vote for the absolute best candidate on the ballot.
And for King, that candidate is the one who most reflects biblical principles. That's her message to voters during this Vote His Principles rally.
We can vote our values or we can vote God's principles. And God's principles are just so very clear. And that actually should transcend a political party.
King isn't alone.
They say opposition to same-sex marriage is the same as opposition to interracial marriage. That is an insult to human intelligence. It is a lie. No Christian should support this.
Bishop E.W. Jackson takes his message to black church leaders, challenging them to resist what he calls blind loyalties.
It's not about race, it's about righteousness. It's not about party, it's about principle. It's about voting in a way that will please God. That's what the ultimate goal ought to be.
A guide to achieving that goal can be found in a new book called How Should Christians Vote? Its author is Tony Evans, pastor of Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship Church in Dallas, Texas.
If God is involved in government and God is the author of government and God determines what is good and what is evil, then he should be consulted on all issues.
Before voting, Evans encourages Christian voters to get out a sheet of paper, write down an issue of concern in one column, where Democrats stand in the next column, then where Republicans stand. And finally, what God says about the issue.
You vote for the party, the platform, the candidate, or the policies that closest reflects the values of the kingdom of God.
And Evans is quick to point out, God is neither Democrat nor Republican.
He's the consummate independent because he only votes for himself. And he doesn't ride the backs of donkeys or elephants. So the great tragedy today is that we've reduced him to partisan politics rather than, from a Christian perspective, recognizing he's his own king with his own kingdom, and he makes his judgments based on how consistent people are with his rule.
And Pastor Evans says God's rule should rule how Christians vote.
Nothing wrong with voting values. It's one of the 3 legitimate influences that can motivate anyone in going into the polls.
Regent University's Dr. Charles Dunn says the bottom line is everyone votes values, whether they vote party loyalty, a specific issue, or candidate.
We all vote values. We vote economic values. We vote social values. We vote religious values.
Ephraim Graham, CBN News.